At long last, Lenny Kravitz broke his silence, finally able to speak about the relationship that defined much of his early adult life, his marriage to Lisa Bonet. What he revealed surprised everyone. It wasn't the typical post-divorce tell-all, it was intimate, honest, and layered with unexpected truths. His quiet admiration turned into revelations that few saw coming. This wasn't just closure, it was a rare glimpse into a deeply personal connection. So what truly unfolded between Lenny and Lisa, and why is he opening up now? Let's dive in. A moment that changed everything. Before his heartfelt confession stunned the public, Lenny Kravitz experienced a single moment that altered the course of his life, an elevator ride with Lisa Bonet. It was backstage in 1985 at a New Edition concert, a setting buzzing with energy and filled with celebrities, staff, and performers. Lenny, then an aspiring musician performing under the name Romeo Blue, unexpectedly crossed paths with Bonet, a rising star thanks to her role on The Cosby Show. That chance meeting sparked a connection neither of them anticipated. Lenny was captivated. His nerves took over, and in his memoir Let Love Rule, he candidly admitted his approach was far from smooth. "I told her I liked her hair," he wrote, calling it one of the worst pickup lines in history. Still, something intangible passed between them. "We vibed immediately," he recalled. Time stood still. There was magnetism. That moment set in motion a relationship so powerful it would endure fame, love, heartbreak, and time. As Lenny later described, that elevator encounter birthed a bond that would not just survive divorce and distance but would also become a cornerstone of his identity. From acquaintances to soulmates. Long before the world recognized them as a power couple, Lenny and Lisa's relationship evolved slowly and privately. Their romantic journey didn't begin with fireworks or tabloid headlines, it started with a friendship. Lisa, grounded and generous, opened her home to Lenny, letting him crash on her couch as he navigated the uncertain early stages of his music career. At the time, Lenny still wasn't fully himself. "I was still going by Romeo Blue," he said in a 2020 interview. "I hadn't embraced being Lenny Kravitz yet. I was trying to figure out who I was." Lisa became a mirror in which he saw clarity. Their friendship grew, and through her, he found someone who understood him on a soul-deep level. She ignited his creativity and helped him shed the persona he had built around himself. Everything changed during a seemingly trivial moment. While they were in a recording studio, Lisa tripped and fell into Lenny's arms. That physical closeness lit a spark that could no longer be ignored. "We started kissing," he wrote. "That night, I moved into Lisa's bedroom. Destiny had led us here." Their relationship transformed rapidly. What started as friendship turned into a love story that was spiritual, creative, and transformative. A deepening bond. Lenny described this period as magical, when he felt seen, accepted, and creatively inspired. Together, they built a life that defied convention. Their shared love for music, fashion, and spirituality created a deeply personal world. On November 16, 1987, Lisa's 20th birthday, they eloped to Las Vegas and were married in a modest chapel. There was no media spectacle, only two free spirits making a private commitment. At the time, Lisa was more famous than Lenny, often earning him the nickname Mr. Bonet, a label he wore with pride. "I was married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, incredible inside and out," he told People. "And I wasn't even paying attention to that, I was paying attention to the music." Their connection was passionate and profound, and soon it led to the next chapter of their journey, parenthood. Becoming a family. Their love story took a new shape with the birth of their daughter, Zoë Isabella Kravitz, on December 1, 1988. Her arrival marked a turning point for both of them, solidifying their bond in a way that transcended even romance. Zoë was conceived during a soul-nourishing trip to the Bahamas. Lenny, always poetic, described it vividly: "We didn't need a thing. We didn't need clothes. We bathed in the ocean. We made love." For Lisa, motherhood was a life-altering shift. She told Honey magazine, "Having Zoe saved my life. It was my wake-up call to grow up." There were so many things I didn't want to pass on to her, so I made the decision to change and become a better person. Their family became a creative and spiritual sanctuary, a unit defined by love and artistic expression, rather than rules and convention. Reflecting on that era, Lenny said, "We were quite the family. We had our own groove, our own expression, our own fashion. It was a beautiful time." Zoë would inherit the talents and spirit of both parents, carving her own successful path in the arts as an actress, musician, and model. More than that, she became the living embodiment of their love, a bond that remained long after their marriage ended. An unbreakable connection. Though their romantic relationship eventually came to a close, the emotional and spiritual connection between Lenny and Lisa never did. Decades passed before Lenny publicly acknowledged the depth of their bond. And when he finally did, the world wasn't ready for how heartfelt and vulnerable it would be. What remained wasn't bitterness or regret, but reverence, admiration, and a love that, in its own way, never died. After their separation, both parents remained devoted to raising Zoë together, laying the groundwork for a co-parenting partnership that would eventually blossom into a meaningful friendship. Their journey is a testament to the idea that while a marriage may end, the bonds of family can endure. Years later, when Lenny Kravitz opened up about his relationship with Lisa Bonet, it became clear that their mutual love for Zoë remained a central force in their enduring connection, surprising many who had assumed their relationship ended with their divorce. Zoë ultimately became the symbol of a lasting bond that not only survived the end of their marriage but continued to grow in surprising and beautiful ways. As Lenny later admitted, that evolution is what made their stories so unique. Despite their deep affection for one another, Kravitz and Bonet's marriage began to unravel after just 4 years. They separated in 1991 and finalized their divorce in 1993, a period Kravitz described as one of the hardest in his life. In a Rolling Stone interview, he revealed, "I was in a tremendous amount of pain when we broke up, tremendous. For 6 months, I only slept 2 hours a day, from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. The rest of the time, I was like a zombie." The emotional toll of the breakup fueled his creativity, leading to the release of his 1991 album Mama Said, which chronicled his heartbreak, especially in the hit single It Ain't Over Till It's Over, a song he wrote for Bonet. Music became his outlet, allowing him to express raw emotion in ways that deeply resonated with fans also experiencing heartbreak. In a 1993 interview with the New York Times, Kravitz admitted, "I still love her very much, more than she'll ever know," revealing the lingering emotional connection he felt despite their separation. Though they never publicly shared the reasons behind their split, it happened at a time when Kravitz's music career was gaining momentum, bringing with it new pressures and extended absences. The demands of fame and touring likely strained their relationship. At just 27, Kravitz was still discovering his identity as both an artist and a man, all while trying to balance marriage and fatherhood. Later, Kravitz reflected on the deeper reasons for their split. In an interview with Flat magazine, he said, "I had to take a break. I went through a lot of emotional things, a lot of deaths in my family. The grief and stress from these losses only added to the pressure they faced as a young couple in the spotlight." He also acknowledged that he simply wasn't ready for marriage at the time. In 2018, he told The Guardian, "I was in not just a depression, but a fog. I didn't know which way was up." This self-awareness speaks to the emotional weight he carried and the role it played in the breakdown of their relationship. Kravitz has always been honest about his own shortcomings, showing a maturity that emerged from those painful years. Following their divorce, both Kravitz and Bonet faced the challenge of building new lives while co-parenting Zoë. Bonet moved with their 3-year-old daughter to Topanga Canyon, California, seeking a simpler, more natural lifestyle. It was all about Zoë having this experience in nature, using her imagination instead of watching TV, Zoë later recalled. Bonet's decision reflected her focus on creating a nurturing, grounded environment despite the upheaval in her personal life. For Kravitz, the breakup sparked a period of deep introspection. The pain of losing his family forced him to confront long-standing emotional issues, including patterns inherited from his father. While painful, this reckoning laid the foundation for personal growth that would benefit him for years to come. Geographic distance added to the difficulty of maintaining close relationships. While Bonet and Zoë stayed in California, Kravitz's career often kept him traveling. These circumstances made the early post-divorce years especially challenging. Yet something unexpected emerged from that difficult chapter. Rather than succumbing to resentment, Kravitz and Bonet slowly transformed their relationship. When Zoë turned 11, she went to live with Kravitz in Miami, giving him the chance to reconnect and build a stronger bond with his daughter. "It really helped me to focus my life," he said. "I was running around the world touring, I had to make some lifestyle changes." Their effort to co-parent evolved over time into something deeper, a genuine friendship that reflected the foundation of their original connection. In 2013, Kravitz shared, "Zoe's mom and I are now best friends." It's interesting because that's how the relationship started. This evolution gave new meaning to Lenny's later public reflections. The stark contrast between the pain of their separation and the friendship they built made his revelations especially powerful, highlighting how a painful divorce could ultimately lead to one of the most meaningful relationships in his life. Before he ever spoke publicly about his feelings, Kravitz had already revealed everything through his music. Long before any interview, his discography told the story, a trail of songs reflecting the joy, heartbreak, and deep connection he shared with Bonet. Music has always been his most honest form of expression, and their relationship significantly influenced his songwriting. Many of his tracks serve as emotional snapshots of their life together. His 1989 debut album Let Love Rule, released during their marriage, celebrated their shared spiritual vision, with the title track conveying a message of unity and love. Bonet contributed creatively to the album, co-writing 2 songs, making it a true collaboration. As their marriage started to falter, Kravitz turned once again to music to process the pain. His 1991 follow-up Mama Said channeled the heartbreak, especially in It Ain't Over Till It's Over, which, with its soulful tone and hopeful lyrics, became a heartfelt tribute to the love he struggled to let go. Lenny Kravitz's music has often hinted that he wasn't ready to let go of his relationship with Lisa Bonet. One of his most iconic tracks, which reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, captures that emotional resistance to closure. Its lasting appeal reflects a message that continues to strike a chord with listeners, an enduring mix of love and hope that resonates with those who've faced similar feelings. Other songs from that era, such as Stand By My Woman and What Goes Around Comes Around, further reference his connection with Bonet, forming a sort of musical memoir chronicling that formative chapter in his life. Even in later works, echoes of their bond linger in his lyrics. Although Kravitz has had other important relationships, his marriage to Bonet appears to have left a profound and lasting imprint on his artistic voice. Through his music, he channels deeply personal moments into themes that feel universal, allowing audiences to tap into his journey of love, heartbreak, and growth. Each song seems like a clue, tracing a path back to a love that never truly ended, it simply evolved. That's why, when Kravitz finally opened up about his relationship with Lisa Bonet, many were surprised, but those who had listened closely to his music may have felt he'd been revealing it all along. One of the most remarkable elements of their story is how their relationship didn't just end, it expanded. After Bonet met Jason Momoa at a Los Angeles jazz club in 2005, a new chapter began for her and her family. She and Momoa went on to have 2 children, Lola, born in 2007, and Nakoa Wolf, born in 2008, before marrying in a private ceremony in 2017. What made this family dynamic so unusual was Kravitz's response. Rather than staying at a distance, he welcomed Momoa into the family with open arms. In a 2019 People interview, Kravitz described his relationship with Bonet as more like brother and sister. He explained that after their separation, they built a new kind of relationship. When she and Momoa got together, Kravitz formed a strong bond with him as well. "I love him. He loves my kid. I love their kids. We're all one big family. It's beautiful," he shared. Kravitz and Momoa's friendship deepened to the point where Kravitz described the Aquaman actor as like a brother in a Times interview. He admitted that maintaining such closeness after a divorce took effort, but that work paid off, resulting in a rare and deeply bonded extended family. Their closeness was visible to the public, like when Kravitz, Bonet, and their daughter Zoe attended the 2015 Met Gala together, with Kravitz captioning a photo of them family. Even after Bonet and Momoa separated in early 2022, the ties held firm. When Kravitz posted a birthday message for Bonet that November, Momoa responded with heart emojis, a quiet affirmation of lasting connection. More recently, Kravitz has spoken more openly about his enduring bond with Bonet, particularly while promoting his new album Blue Electric Light and his memoir Let Love Rule. His reflections have offered some of the most heartfelt insights yet into the nature of their relationship. "I am what I am because of our experience," he said in People, "because of everything that I was, everything that she was, and everything that came together. This isn't just a nod to a past partner, it's a testament to how deeply their lives remain intertwined. Kravitz no longer speaks of Bonet as someone in his rearview mirror but as an enduring presence in his life. The love doesn't leave you, he explained. It has to find a new way to funnel itself into a new life. That idea, transforming romantic love into a deep, spiritual connection, is at the heart of his reflections. Perhaps most poignantly, he said, "She is a part of my life that will never leave my heart, my soul, or my spirit." These words suggest a connection that transcends typical definitions of romance or friendship. Instead of downplaying their bond, Kravitz embraces it as something sacred, something that challenges our usual ideas of how relationships should end. His willingness to express this emotional depth offers a rare and honest view of how love can evolve and endure in new forms. What Kravitz and Bonet have chosen is not the norm. Many exes drift apart, keep their distance, or settle into roles as polite co-parents. But Kravitz and Bonet pursued a different path, one marked by continued affection, respect, and meaningful connection. In his memoir and interviews, Kravitz is clear about Bonet's lasting influence on his life. He speaks with reverence, honoring both their past and the bond they've nurtured since their romantic chapter ended. Their story is more than personal, it's an example. As they continue their intertwined journey, Kravitz and Bonet show that love can take many forms and continue to thrive even after a marriage ends. Their dynamic redefines what it means to be a family, showing that mutual support and shared history can become the foundation for something new and meaningful. For their daughter Zoe, this approach has been especially valuable. She grew up surrounded by cooperation and stability, benefits of having parents who chose respect over resentment. And the extended family they created, including Momoa and his children with Bonet, reflects an expanded idea of what family can mean, one not limited by biology or marriage, but by love and inclusion. For fans and the wider public, their story offers inspiration. In a society where breakups often lead to bitterness or estrangement, Kravitz and Bonet demonstrate another way. Their journey shows that relationships don't have to follow strict rules or end in emotional finality. Instead, they can evolve, offering space for healing, growth, and continued love. Ultimately, when Kravitz finally opened up about his bond with Bonet, he surprised people not because the connection was new, but because he gave voice to what had always been there. Their story is a testament to love's ability to adapt and endure, reminding us that its power doesn't lie in permanence, but in transformation.